I know people that die from this, but I never thought for a minute it'd be my dad and my sister 5 days apart.
It happened all very quickly.
Stories of loss. Families of those who died of COVID-19 opened the inquiry with their devastating testimony.
And she died alone 5 days after my dad.
They hope the inquiry will answer the question, could these deaths have been avoided?
I intend to answer the following 3 questions. Was the UK properly prepared for a pandemic? Was the response to it appropriate? And can we learn lessons for the future?
Witnesses over the next few weeks could include former Prime Minister David Cameron and former Health Minister Jeremy Hunt. And questions will be asked as to why, despite pandemic simulation exercises in 2016, when epidemiologists warned the country was unprepared for a pandemic, none of the 22 recommendations were acted on. It was Dr. Musa Qureshi who campaigned for the government to make the results of those exercises public.
Some of the findings, for instance, of Exercise Alice, which was a secret coronavirus exercise, which government ministers never admitted had happened until we forced disclosure. Some of the findings were that we did not have enough infrastructure, so we didn't have enough PPE, we didn't have enough intensive care beds or intensive care capacity, and that may well have been a decision in line with the long policy of austerity, which has cut NHS beds over years rather than increase them.
The inquiry will ask, why was there a shortage of personal protection equipment for health workers? Where was the planning for extra hospital beds? And did austerity reduce the UK's capacity to prepare for a pandemic? The next stage of this 3-year process will look at the decisions the government made, including why 2 days after the WHO declared the pandemic, thousands gathered to enjoy horse races in Cheltenham in England when other countries in Europe were already locked down. As the inquiry put it, this natural disaster was unavoidable, but was the devastating impact inevitable? Scientists are clear that the risk of future pandemics is ever increasing. And what these families want to know is, will lessons be learnt quickly enough to protect people before another one strikes? Charlie Angela, Al Jazeera, London.